Everybody shut up and action. Let's talk about Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. And yes, I had the opportunity to see this movie early, and I am heavily grateful because I watched Knives Out earlier this year and it was amazing. And if I were to compare the two Knives Out movies, Knives Out 2 wasn't as good as the first, though it was still a pretty good movie. I really enjoyed this movie. This review isn't about the first movie, so let's talk about the second movie. Because this movie is great. It has literally no relation to the first movie. It's just the return of Blanc, the detective, the great detective. That's why the two movies are called Knives Out Mysteries, because it's just continuing the same detective story. And one thing you really do love about this detective is that he's just continuously curious for and passionate for needing to solve a mystery, a puzzle of some sort. Just like how we go into mystery movies expecting a deep, complex puzzle to try and solve along with the detective in these movies, or whoever's solving the mystery in the mystery movies, whether it be Scooby-Doo's gang or Benoit Blanc. Alright, anyway, this movie is great. It is completely different from the first, so if you want to watch this without watching the first movie, that is great. Though I will highly suggest you still check out the first. This movie is basically a technological billionaire invites all of his friends to his private island where something goes wrong, someone dies, and now they have to solve the damn mystery. And let me say, that is all I'm going to say about the plot, because that's basically the essence of a plot in a mystery movie. Though here, holy crap, just like the original Knives Out mystery, everything is misleading. I mean, just like in the first movie, everything leads you in one direction just to make a complete U-turn in the other direction. And yes, while in the other movie, I was able to come up with like these wild conspiracy theories about what's actually happening, and then I'm dismissing them, going like, oh, this is not gonna happen, and then it actually happens to surprise me. In this movie, it's nothing like that, though in a way, just like how everyone predicted this movie is going to be layered. Like, this is a non-spoiler review, so everyone knows the glass onion. Like, with the imagery of the onion, everyone's expecting this movie to be layered, and yes, it is layered. It's referenced multiple times. But what I find absolutely amazing, I'm just going to use this metaphor once. It's a glass onion. You can see all the complex layers, but you can clearly see the sphere in the middle, or like the center of the onion. I'll leave that to your interpretation to kind of understand what that means, but this movie was absolutely great. I mean, you're sitting there invested. There's a bunch of quirky characters, a bunch of characters with varying their personalities, and in a sense, you could kind of get that the onion is also layered because of all these complex personalities from all these quirky individuals surrounded around one central figure. I mean, that's another way to look at it, but like, you see how all these various characters are all having some varying different complex relationships with the main character, while also having relationships with everyone around them, relying on people. And you learn a lot about human nature in this thing, and human nature is also extremely complex and layered, so there's a lot of references to layering here. Some are pretty straightforward and clearly stated, others are more subtle, and like, this movie really has you on the edge of your seat. Like, all these characters have their own quirky things that keep you attached to them, wanting to know what they're going to do next. And one thing about this movie is that, like, the first half of this movie is an extremely pleasant journey. There are plenty of comedic moments that are well executed, along with great acting performances and a great story combining all these characters together, flowing smoothly like a great story, keeping you on the edge of your seat, looking forward to what's going to happen next, who's going to be suffering against some sort of crime, who's going to be looking for the mystery. Everyone's looking at that, and like, there are various things going on, and then suddenly it just feels like 90% of the movie's already been solved, 90% of the mystery has already been solved. And I mean, half of this movie is just fully explanatory of Blanc just explaining everything that he knows, and it just feels like, yeah, you're seeing the journey of how he's solving the mystery, but like, you're seeing that you've seen all these scenes and they're just cutting it off and cutting them off early to mislead you a little, and that it's just all feeling explanatory. And yes, you're seeing the journey, but you're not exactly seeing the journey in present time, and that's just a tiny bit unsettling, but it's fine. You're still seeing the journey, and it feels nice to see everything unfold, always keeping on your edge of your seat, misleading you entirely. You thought it's going this way, but no, it's a whole other direction entirely. So yeah, it's always keeping you on the edge of your seat. You're looking forward to this movie. It's literally keeping you on the edge of your seat, trying to figure out who was the murderer, because every single character has motive. Like, it is if you play like those mystery games, like I played this in physics class once for some free time. It's like, you know, those games where they give you a bunch of clues and then you try to find out, oh, John killed Joe at the greenhouse with the, like a game of Clue rather. like where you're trying to solve who murdered who. You're trying to figure out who was a murderer with what weapon, how, why, whatnot. So it's just literally a game of Clue, and like here it's like the most complex game of Clue because you're just clueless. See, like everyone has everything, so you're just confused on what's going on and trying to understand the story, trying to understand every character, trying to understand the deeper level of each character as the story progresses. Yeah, things constantly changing your opinion from one way to another. It's a great mystery story unfolding before your eyes, and that is why we love this damn movie. If you want to talk about the technical aspects, the visuals in this movie are absolutely stunning. Great acting performances, or various comedical aspects of characters, various comedic side characters meant for comedy relief. I mean, this movie is just really funny. It is really great acting performances. I really did have a great time enjoying this movie, and I rate this movie an 83%. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of this movie. If you have seen it, are you looking forward to watching it? Let me know down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!